Okay, with today's Try It section, we are going to be looking at this number line for number one. The very first question says, where did the problem begin? So to figure that out, we're going to look at the actual hops along the number line, and we see the arrow is moving to the left. So we're going to start over here and hop, 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 and we're subtracting. So we're going to be moving to get a smaller number. So when we see where the problem began, the starting point was right here. So the answer to that very first part is 1,000. The second part said, where did it end? Well, it hopped all the way down here and finished there. So that 715 was the ending point. All right, how much did it hop? So we need to calculate how much all of this is all together. So we've got 100, then 200, then 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, then 281, 282, 83, 84, 285. So it hopped 285. Okay, so it wants us to write a subtraction equation that would be represented by this hopper. So we're going to start with the minuend, which is that top number. So we have 1,000 minus the subtrahend, which is the amount we hopped, 285. And it equals the difference, which is 715. So that's the way we read that number line. So it starts the minuend, subtracts however much the subtrahend is, and then ends at the difference. All right, let's move down and see what's next. Okay, so here it asks you to copy this onto a piece of paper. So you should have rewritten out this number line so that you could figure out what's going in each space. Okay, so here it says, where does it start? Well, this again is a subtraction one. So we're starting over at the top on the right-hand side with 1,000. So that's our starting point, is 1,000. And it hops back 4 tens. So if I went back 10, we would have 990. Another 10 would be 980, 970, then 960. So that A would get us to 960 because we've taken off 40. Okay, then we're going to hop off 100 here, so it would get us to 860, another 100 to get us to 760. The third 100 would get us down to 660, which is the value of B. And then the value of C takes off 3 ones. So if you're at 660, you would have 659, 658, 657. Okay, so the equation here again is going to start with the minuend, which was our starting point, which is 1,000, minus whatever you hopped. So here we hopped 3 hundreds, then 40, and then 3 ones. So we hopped 343, and it ended at our finishing spot right there at C, which was 657. All right. Down here it says if a hopper starts at 700, so you can write this out if you want, 700, and it hops back 400, so we could do it like this, minus 400. It's kind of messy on that paper, it won't let me write above it. Minus 400 would get us to 300, right? Because 7 minus 4 is 3. And then we took 2 tens off, which is 20, would get us to 280. And then to take 6 ones off of that, minus 6, would get us back to 274. So a subtraction equation that represented that hop would be 700 minus 426 equals 274. Okay, draw a number line hopper and solve this. So it starts at 1,300, 1,300. You know, I'm going to draw it below to get myself a little bit more room. Okay, so I'm going to start off at 1,300, and I'm going to hop 562. So if I know that my number line starts right there at 1,300, okay, first thing I'm going to do is hop. I'm going to do the hundreds first. So I'm going to minus 500. So I don't have to do anything to the tens or the ones column. I just am looking at the hundreds. So if I have 13 hundreds, 1,300 represents 13 hundreds, and I have 13 minus 5, that leaves me with 8 hundreds. So I had 13 hundreds, and I took off 5 of them, and I'm left with 800. Okay, so next I'm going to take off 60. So if I have 800 minus 60, that leaves me at 740. Then the next one is going to be taking off 2, which leaves me at 738. Okay, so after we finish that one, let me erase it so we have a little bit more room to work. Maybe I'll erase it. It's going kind of slow. Okay. Maybe this will be enough for us. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it says using mental math. So we're going to like use our imagination and imagine a number line if you can. Okay, so we're going to have 900 and we want to take off 453. Okay, so first let's think about what would happen if we just only thought about the hundreds places. So if we start with 900 and then we're going to take off 400s because that's the digit that's in the hundreds place in that number 453. So if we have 900s, taking off 400. So 9 minus 4 is 5. So that leaves us down to 500. Now we're going to move over to the 50s, right, to the tens column, right? We've got 5 tens, which is 50. So if we have 500 and we're going to take 50 off, that leaves us at 450. Now all that's left to do is to take off the 3. So if you have 450 and you go back 3, you're going to wind up with 447. And you can always check that, right? With inverse operations, we can add. So we can add 7 plus 3 is 10. So we'd put a 0, carry a 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10, put the 0, carry a 1. Then we've got 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 4 is 9, 900. So that's it. So 447 is what you should have gotten when you did that mentally.